I find it amazing that one man and woman can accomplish so much with so little. They do the job of several people with very limited means and the help of only one young man. They are humble, polite people with the biggest, most giving hearts I have ever witnessed in my lifetime. If these doctors would not have rescued these innocent dogs, they would have been poisoned to death by animal control. Animal control keeps a tally of the dogs in town, and they are now at capacity, and what they do is they poison the female dogs so that they cannot breed anymore and leave the males alone. This right here is an operating room that Dr. Tureni is trying to complete, but right now does not have the funds to complete. He is also about to come upon the rainy season here in Abadiania, Brazil, and they need donations to make this area livable and sanitary for the animals during this rainy season, at the least to travel through to care for the animals. This black dog right here was hit by a car, and his left front leg there, Dr. Tureni said the radial nerve was damaged in the leg, and he ordered a splint to make it easier for him to walk. Each dog here has a story. Every one of them has a story, and every one of them has a heartbreaking story. And without these two doctors, these animals would have perished in a very painful and slow death. That's the reality. There are visitors that come to Abadiania and adopt puppies, but very rarely do the adult dogs get adopted because of their condition and the expense needed for shots and to build a special crate to transport them back to their home countries by airplane. It's much easier to adopt a puppy and transport them back home. This is Abadiania. I was informed that means the Holy Mother Mary. She was brought to the doctor's front door over here by a Good Samaritan that said that they had a patient for them. Somebody tried to kill her, beat her to death. Her right eye, as you can see, was badly damaged by a stick or some type of weapon. She is unable to walk. She was almost starved to death, and very, very skinny, and she was in very bad shape. This touched the doctor's hearts so much that they adopted her, and they shed many tears over the condition. Thank you. This is my second visit to Dr. Mr. and Mrs. Frazio's kennel. I had a second surgery and had to wait for the okay to come back and visit. This is 4 days after my initial visit, and my time is limited here in Abadiania before returning home. There is one special patient I have to visit before leaving. But while making my way through the kennel area, I was informed by Dr. Tureni that he is being evicted. Some neighbors are complaining about the dogs barking, and the landlord has given them 3 or 4 months to make other arrangements. All of the resources, labor, and materials used to make this place a functional kennel has been for naught. These 2 loving and caring people now find themselves in a desperate situation and they need help. Lots of help. At the end of this video, I will provide information to donate directly to Dr. Mr. and Mrs. Frazio's PayPal account directly. The ideal situation for these two wonderfully giving people would be to live just outside of town, where they could continue their work without worrying about neighbors and having to move and start all over again. I would like to make a plea on their behalf to all the animal lovers, to the many thousands of people that have visited here, and anyone watching this, to please donate generously. This couple did not even have their own children, because caring for these animals is their life. This is one of their newest members, or residents. He is undernourished. He has a serious skin disease, a parasite. He did not have the use of his right rear leg, and they took him in despite the fact that they were overcrowded. Following this visit to Mommy Mila, we'll see what the doctors do, a surgical procedure and some medical attention. Look, she is up and around. This is just 4 days later. She's got her energy back. The puppies are doing fine. They've nursed her to health in 4 days. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this face. Look at her. She sits when she's told. What a beautiful animal. And to think that they would have poisoned her to death. It's just unthinkable. She sees Mrs. Frazio passing out treats. And she gets her treat. And now we'll take a look at the other dogs getting their treats. Mrs. Frazio explained that all the dogs love these bones. And what is amazing about this is 1 minute she's feeding and giving the dog treats, and in this next clip, just a minute later, you see her giving shots to another dog in the yard with the help of the young man who works for them. It's unfortunate that they have to do this in the yard around the other animals, only because they don't have the facilities to perform this kind of treatment inside in a private area. And also, as you'll see in a few minutes, Dr. Tereni is in the rear of the house in their makeshift surgical area, and while Mrs. Frazio is giving the shots, he is in there starting a surgical procedure, which she will assist with after she gets through with these tasks she's performing.